on the road. Well, it feels good to always have everything you own with you. It feels good not to be on the hook to other people, and to live life on your terms. A big part of my life that I'm focusing on at this season is just to stay free from as many burdens of this world as possible, so I can keep my hope, keep my creativity, keep my empowerment of, when you don't have a lot of things, there's not a lot people can do to you as far as, holding things over your head, threatening you, or just you putting too much pressure on yourself. You obey by the laws and you comply with, wherever you go. So it's not about being an outlaw, it's about being a nomad. And for me, part of being a nomad is I really don't want to see the country. I have no desire for that. I mean, I like to travel, I like to see different things, but you guys know me, I mainly love Florida. I like to come up north to see my mom or to get out of the heat in September, October. But what I really like is just not to stress myself out knowing that I owe. I don't owe a mortgage, I don't owe a HOA, I don't owe anyone anything. And even though I've kind of thought about debt, and I'm not totally against debt, because I see some value in debt, whereas if you die with debt, and if your assets when you die are not enough to cover it, your debt dies with you. So I don't know if it's wise. In my opinion, it's not wise to pay off debt but not have a year's worth of expenses in a savings account. So I think the first wisdom, financially speaking, is get a year's worth of expenses in a savings account, and then, pay off debts. Just pay your bare minimums while you do that. But then you have a decision to make. Do you want to put your time and energy to becoming debt-free? I mean, I did partly that. And I am debt-free now. I don't know if I'd ever go back in debt. I see value in never being in debt. You say, Sam, I could borrow at a low interest rate, maybe have some money work in investments or whatever, and make more in investments than I would in interest. And there's value there. I mean, statistically, you could possibly do that. You would stress a little bit more. So I do value my emotional health. Like if the stock market or society went into economic downturn, I don't want to have to go back and forth with banks and mortgage companies and creditors. I don't want to deal with other people when I don't have to. See, debt is kind of like you put another relationship that you have to manage. Whether you pay that debt every month and that's the obligations of the relationship, or you don't, then you have to do more back and forth, negotiating. But what are my goals at this point in my life? My goals are to be financially independent, to stay healthy, and to only deal with people that I feel have a value in my life. I think when you have debt or when you're on the hook to people, you just, you're not in total control. You're never in total control in this world. It's true. But I like more control than less. I like more empowerment. And when I get stressed out, or there's something at work or something in life, knowing that I'm pretty much as free as a bird that's tattooed on my hand, because I like the symbol of the nomadic free life, similar to a bird, I really don't have any desire to go back to a conforming life. I don't know the value for me to go back to an area or to be obligated to something or someone. I don't see any value. I think everything in life, you kind of have to see value in it. If you're using wisdom, if you're using emotion, you won't really analyze many times if it's value. You'll just be on an emotional high. But when you really use some science, some logic, some gut instinct, you balance it out, you have a good, fair, balanced evaluation, I think then you can measure value. Value is definitely measured in different ways by different people depending on what they want to do with their life, right? So it's not an exact science, but what gives me the greatest peace, joy, and happiness? Independence, not being on the hook to people, and maximum options. Every day I kind of go through this, what I just went through in this video. Is just I just go through what's the direction of my life, right? I think you should spend some time every day like talking out your life. And the direction of my life is not about building out an RV. It's not about building a home. It's not about building a relationship. My relationship, my goals at this point in my life are about maintaining my health, doing what I need to do to continue to go towards independence, and go towards the life I want to live. Minimal obligations, minimal commitments, maximum freedom. And, that's it, and then I just take life one day at a time. So, that's the nomad life for me, and that's where I'm at. Should you ever take on debt? Should you ever live a certain life? I don't know, I don't know. There's some level of wisdom in the Dave Ramsey philosophy. There's some level of hypocrisy, especially considering he filed for bankruptcy. So, it's like we all need resets in life. Okay? And you only get so many of those. And so when you get a reset, you get a clean slate, you file for bankruptcy or whatever. And I never filed for bankruptcy. But I'm not against anyone who would, because, look, you do what you got to do. Everyone's different. But if you do file for bankruptcy, don't become so high and mighty like, Dave Ramsey. Guys, I don't know, man. I don't want to be tough on Dave. Dave helped me structure some of the financial wisdom that's good. But just my general thoughts today, guys. I'm just on a little bit of a cruise. I'm stuck in traffic. I just wanted to share my thoughts. And some of them are repetitive to my mindset and to my way of living and my philosophy at this point in my life. But it's good. It keeps me centered, keeps me focused on what do I really think, and that's what I really think. I just think keep it simple. I think every day you could wake up and talk for 10 minutes about just keeping it simple, minimize your obligations, minimize your long-term commitments. And if you could totally avoid debt, you're probably better off. So just do that, and hopefully it helps you in some way. All right, peace.